The finest travel destinations in London. 1.
Visit Buckingham Palace to watch the changing of the guard.
One of the most iconic buildings in Britain, Buckingham Palace is also London's most popular display of pomp and ceremony. The guards changing the guard. Most days, regardless of season, the crowds start at 11:30 a.m. This colorful demonstration of precise marches and music also took place in St. Petersburg. James Palace Farm. One of the best free events in London, you can follow a band from venue to venue along the Mall. Built in 1837, Buckingham Palace has been London's royal residence since Queen Victoria acceded to the throne. If you want to know if the king is at home, look at the mast at the top of the building. If the royal banner flies day and night, he is at home. He and members of the royal family can even appear on the central balcony on special occasions. When the king is away from the royal summer residence at Balmoral Castle in Scotland, visitors can purchase tickets to the staterooms, Queen's Gallery, and Royal Mews. 2. Visit the Crown Jewel at the Tower of London. From prisons to palaces, vaults to private zoos, the magnificent Tower of London has played many different roles over the centuries. As one of Britain's most iconic buildings, this spectacular World Heritage Site provides hours of fascination for visitors curious about the country's rich history, much of which took place here. Inside the imposing White Tower, built by William the Conqueror in 1078, is the 17th-century King's Line, which features a striking display of armor and royal armor. Other highlights include the famous Crown Jewels exhibition, Beefeaters, the Royal Mint, and a macabre exhibition on live executions. The Bloody Tower is also worth a visit. Here you can find stories of ancient tortures and learn about the mystery of two princes who disappeared many years ago. To make the most of your time, especially in the busy summer months, buy Tower of London tickets in advance, including the Crown Jewels and Beefeater tour, to avoid the queues waiting at the ticket office. This pass guarantees the lowest price, helping you avoid crowds and save time and effort. 3.
Get away from the crowds. Cross Tower Bridge in the morning.
Tower Bridge stands next to the Tower of London, two towers rising 200 feet above the River Thames. This is one of London's most famous and most photographed landmarks. While offering fascinating behind-the-scenes tours, you can easily cross the bridge from the Tower of London. For the best views of the tower and a glimpse of HMS Belfast and London Bridge, which many confuse with Tower Bridge, find a seat in the middle. Although it can get crowded, especially around sunset, it's worth arriving early in the morning before the hordes of tourists arrive. Then head to the refurbished area of Butler Quay at the south end of the bridge for a classic English breakfast at Watch House Tower Bridge, enjoying a unique twist. This now refined area is fun to wander around, with its wide variety of restaurants, luxury homes, and boutiques. 4.
Discover culture at the British Museum.
The British Museum has one of the finest collections of artifacts in the world, containing over 13 million objects from the ancient world. With treasured artifacts from Assyria, Babylon, China, Europe, and beyond, it can be hard to know where to start in this vast attraction. Most visitors head first to the museum's most famous exhibits: the controversial Elgin marbles of the Parthenon, the Rosetta Stone, the colossal bust of Ramesses II, the Egyptian mummies, and the monument known as the Mildenhall, a spectacular treasure trove of Roman silver hoards from the 4th century. In addition to the in-store bookstore with its extensive collection of ancient history, archaeology, and art history, there is a shop selling children's games and souvenirs and a shop selling replicas of carvings and jewelry. For those who can stay longer, the museum offers a variety of lectures and workshops, as well as a restaurant and cafe. 5.
Big Ben and the Houses of Parliament.
There's nothing like this 318-foot tower that calls London the Great Clock, the House. It's as iconic a landmark as London's Tower Bridge, and Big Ben's toll booth is known worldwide as the BBC's time signal. Below, along the Thames, is the Houses of Parliament. It was the seat of the British government for many centuries and once housed the Palace of Westminster, occupied by William the Conqueror.
Look back over Westminster Bridge for the best view of the Houses of Parliament.
Or turn left after crossing the bridge and follow the path to Sea Life London Aquarium, a great place to take the kids. Gather your team along the walls for a memorable photo with Big Ben in the background. The Parliament House tour offers a unique opportunity to witness live debates and lively political discussions. From Parliament Square, Whitehall is surrounded by so many government buildings that its name has become synonymous with the British government. 6.
Get creative at the National Gallery.
It's almost impossible to visit London without taking a look at the impressive National Gallery. Located on the edge of Trafalgar Square, this iconic cylindrical museum is home to incredible masterpieces, making it one of London's top attractions. Among the best art museums in the world, the National Gallery in London represents an almost comprehensive survey of European painting from 1260 to 1920. The museum's greatest strength is its collection of 15th and 16th century Dutch masters and Italian school paintings. Highlights include Leonardo da Vinci's Madonna and Child cartoon, preliminary sketches, Michelangelo's Burial, Botticelli's Venus and Mars, Van Gogh's Sunflowers, and the pond with Monet's water lilies. 7. Visit an art exhibition at the Victoria and Albert Museum. The Victoria and Albert Museum, also known as the V&A, is the South Kensington part of Dayton, a complex of museums including the Natural History Museum and Science Museum. Founded in 1852, the V&A spans nearly 30 acres and has 145 galleries displaying works of art and related artifacts dating back approximately 5,000 years. Exhibits include ceramics and glass, textiles and clothing, silver and jewelry, metalwork, sculpture, prints, and photography, and are grouped into 4 main categories: Asia, furniture, textiles and fashion, sculpture, metalwork, ceramics, and glass, and text and images. It is impossible to visit this huge museum in one sitting, so the best plan for this is to decide in advance which parts you would most like to see. A Q&A tour is highly recommended and often free, with options ranging from daily introductory tours to visits to specific galleries or themes. The main cafe and garden cafe are more impressive than any museum restaurant you have ever seen. Every detail, from the floor to the columns to the ceiling, is intricately intricate, making it a work of art worthy of the name. Also, the food is very good. Also, don't miss the opportunity to be pampered in the John Medeski Gardens, so beautiful and peaceful that you'll forget you're in one of the greatest cities in the world. While you're there, catch one of the fun, Friday night, shows on the last Friday of every month, except March and December. These fun events are popular for their dining experiences as well as their late-night exhibits.
8. Stroll through Piccadilly Circus and Trafalgar Square.
London's 2 most famous tourist attractions, Piccadilly Circus and Trafalgar Square, take a look at the nearby walkway in Soho, London's bustling theatre and entertainment district. It's a real pleasure to stroll from one to the other, full of eclectic shops, delicious cafes, ice cream parlors, and winding alleys reminiscent of a time when only horses and buggies roamed these historic streets. Trafalgar Square was built to commemorate the defeat of Lord Horatio Nelson against the French and Spanish fleet at Trafalgar in 1805. Nelson's Column, a 183-foot granite monument, towers over the square's fountains and bronze reliefs cast by French guns. Admiralty Arch, St. Martin in the Fields, and the National Gallery surround the square. Piccadilly Circus marks the irregular intersection of several busy streets, including Piccadilly, Regent, Haymarket, and Shaftesbury Avenue. London's most famous sculpture, the winged goddess Venus, delicately balanced on one foot, arches upright overlooking the somewhat congested traffic. It's like Piccadilly Circus is an adjective commonly used by Londoners to describe the bustling and chaotic scene. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button. Also subscribe to our channel before you go.